Jackie, right the bat. They're all flying. They got Diana Boyd, Keno Kid in the house. Old style Keno, which is Chris and Rick from Chicago. My Goombas on Rick's channel. So they're all starting to come in here. Got Jackie,
Hey
fresh off a
guys, hey
long
Diana,
Vegas
hey
trip.
Keno Kid.
We got a lot of stories to tell, don't we, today, Jackie?
Yeah, so much.
Aren't you fresh off a 10-day trip just now?
I've been actually gone for 13
Oh
days
my God.
since August 26th.
And the whole time, I watched your live bingo sessions. Hey, Dino, I watched you play bingo. I watched you play some Keno. You guys were burning the candle in Vegas, weren't you?
Uh, well, Leanne was doing it in the beginning, and then I just kind of took over. I just kind of like took the race car, by the
Yeah.
driver's seat and zoomed off. So it was just,
Vegas can be such a no sleep town, man.
uh, it was crazy. We
And
had
you
so
just
much
you
fun though.
and you just landed. You just landed 5 o'clock in the morning or something
Yeah,
yesterday.
5 o'clock yesterday morning.
Man,
So it was like, I was like, do I go and sleep or do I stay awake? I finally fell asleep like around 10 in the morning because it was just like, oh, I'm so tired. My throat was hurting. And I was just like, okay,
we're
I've had enough. and,
we're we're so
and the
excited
worst
about
part is
today.
I got to go to work tomorrow.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh, we're gonna get into all that. Everybody's showing up. We got a niece, Stacy Sample,
hey,
Ben
Doris.
Julian,
Hey, Ben Julian.
Doris in the house. Oh my God,
Hey,
Dino from Keno
Diana.
Life.
Hey, David
So much fun.
H.
Don't you
Hey,
love
old
this
style
part?
Kino.
I love this part when we all know each other, and it's so crazy. We've only seen
You know
um,
what the best part about going live, Bubba, is
my son
I
walking
can
in.
I
Hey,
can
Cameron,
actually
leave the door open.
I can actually say hi to everyone instead of trying to type, like
Yeah, yeah,
everyone, like hello, hello, hello. So hey Kino Life, hey Teresa,
yeah.
hey Doris,
Mary Sarah. Hey, Mary Sorrell. Sarah.
hey
What's the new
Mary,
name?
how are you?
So much fun. I hope a lot of your viewers come over and watch today. We're gonna get so let's jump. We got a lot of stuff to get to. I know you got a lot of stuff to share, so we're gonna jump right in, guys. We'll get some of that. We'll go through more shout outs as we get going here, but let's get going. So let's talk about your folks first. You grew up in the Minnesota area, but I'm sorry, born in
South
Minnesota.
Dakota.
Yeah,
I
born in
was
Minnesota,
born
but
in
raised in South Dakota.
Minnesota, right on the border of South Dakota.
When
So my parents grew up in the northeastern part of South Dakota.
yeah, what's the
It's
name of the
like,
town?
the name of the town is Sisseton.
Sisseton.
Sisseton, yep. Um, it's right next to Fort Sisseton, which is an Indian reservation.
Okay,
So, um, yes, it's like literally on the border of Minnesota and North Dakota. They
okay.
actually have like I don't know what you call it, but you can climb to the top and you can actually see Minnesota, North Dakota.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's just a small little town, less than probably 5,000 people, maybe even now 2,000 people.
Yeah. Ellen and I have a
So,
fun South Dakota story. So we were driving. She's into her heritage, right? But she's half Japanese, half Norwegian. So we went to this place in Decorah, Iowa, a little small Lutheran town, which is a very Norwegian town.
yep,
And
I'm part
we
Norwegian.
okay, cool.
My grandmother.
That's right. So we went there, went to visit my folks and some family in La Crescent, Minnesota, right on the border of Wisconsin and Minnesota. And then we
Yeah.
drove back to her family in Seattle, and we drove through South Dakota. And we stopped at the first like guest stop that had a like a visitor center, and
Yep.
you could rent a CD back when the CDs were a big thing for $15, and you put it in. And it says, "Please turn on power at mile marker this," and it talks about all the history of South Dakota as you drove through the state. And then you get to the
Oh,
last one, you turn it back in, they give you your $15 back. So it was pretty cool. All the Badlands and the Custer thing and all these other the history of South Dakota. I thought it was one of the coolest things ever. We went to Big
Mount
Bear,
Rushmore.
USA. Went to Mount Rushmore, was totally fogged in. Went to the Badlands, beautiful area. Um,
Yes.
we went to the Big Bear, USA, or what was it called? A Bear Country,
Yeah.
USA.
Bear Country. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
Yep.
love South Dakota. We
Yeah.
definitely went to Deadwood and played. Um,
Yeah.
where the famous Wild Bill Hickok Aces and Eights, they call it the Dead Man's Hand, is still on
Yep,
display there at the table. He got killed. So,
yep,
oh my God.
yep, yep.
So, what are your parents' names?
So my parents are Delray and Linda Richards.
I want to
So
brag about it. Married 47 years.
yes, they just celebrated their anniversary in July for 47 years.
Happy
So,
anniversary, folks. That's awesome.
but like I told you, my parents have basically known each other since they were in diapers.
Oh my God.
Um, my both of my parents grew up on farms. Um, we still have the Richards family farm. It's over 100 years old. The original house, barn, everything, and
Wow.
then um, what they did was they split the land amongst all the children. So, like my dad's father had a piece of land, and his brothers, everyone had a piece of the land. So the house and everything in that land is still there. The Richard still owns that piece. Um, and so my dad's father farmed on his land. He used to have high end sheep. And
Wow.
my dad would tell me stories about when he would go and sell the wool, he would go and buy a brand new car with the wool. So, yeah, that's how, much it was. Then there was an incident where my dad almost died. He, got stuck in, one of the sheds, and the babysitter couldn't find him, and they basically picked up and moved to town, and,
Wow.
sold the farm to my mom's family. So my mom then lived in that farmhouse. Um, and I did get to go in there once before it completely got sold, and just the history of the house and everything. It
Yeah.
was like a Victorian style house in the sense. So my dad's family moved to town. They started a restaurant called the Old Crank, and it was a bar and restaurant, one of the popular ones during that time, and made that successful, and
Wow.
did that until my grandfather retired, basically.
So you have that's amazing, and you still have it. So you have a sister,
Yes, I have one sister,
Jerry.
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 Yep, and she
Yep.
lives in South Dakota. Uh,
Dakota. Oh, you
yeah,
betcha.
South Dakota.
So here's the crazy thing: was Fargo was accurate as possible, or was that as accurate?
But if
The
you watch the movie, it pretty much all takes place in Minnesota, right?
Oh,
'Cause
you know what I mean? Didn't even.
Fargo is right across the border from Minnesota.
Okay. I didn't even.
So,
I wasn't
yeah.
even aware of that. And the crazy thing about that movie was that's a true story, which is even harder to believe. So if somebody actually did that and messed up their whole family. And then she has two boys, Ethan and
Yeah,
Ty. And
yes.
Ethan is an engineer, and Ty, you said, is in football. What do you mean by in football?
Well, yeah, so Ethan is 20, he's in his junior year in college,
Nice.
majoring in engineering, and, Ty,
He's gonna make
he's
a lot of money.
13, he's, in his last year of middle school,
Oh, okay.
and he's in football, so he's a big football player. He prepared all this summer with football camp and everything, so, yeah, so he's our big football player.
No, I want to
Now
get
you
into
asked
your.
me
Yeah,
what
good.
place he's in, I have no clue. So,
So I want your family history, and and the notes were, but I want to push this forward because very interesting. You're third generation on your father's side from Wales.
yes, yes. So my dad's grandfather actually came from Wales. And it was funny because when my parents and my sister came to visit, we actually went to Ellis Island to see if we could find him. And
Thanks,
we
Bones.
found him on there. He came in the late, I think it was 1886, 1887,
Wow.
on the White Star. And we saw you could get tracks of him going back and forth to visit and things like that with the family. And that's the crazy thing is we don't know too much about his family, but we do suspect and we know that there is still family that's in Wales from
which
my
is which is
father's
that's
side.
that's amazing too. But and then Chris Thomason just said, "Go Kilts, go." On your mom's side, they're from Liechtenstein.
Yeah,
Did I say that right? Am I
Liechtenstein.
saying that right?
Yeah, Liechtenstein.
But you can track it to the Mayflower.
Yes, yes.
That's
My mom's
that's the
sister has
icon of all icons.
my mom's sister has done about, I think, 2 books or 3 books on our family's
Oh,
history.
unbelievable.
Um, so yeah, so it's all the way from Liechtenstein, which is a very, 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 very small,
Tiny,
tiny, tiny
tiny.
country. They say pretty much you are related to like the king and queen of the country in the sense. There, that's how small it is. Um, but yeah, we actually even have family there. Our Some of our family has gone there to visit them. So
Unbelievable.
yeah.
But when I saw
So,
the notes and I saw the word Mayflower, the Mayflower is the history book, the icon of this
oh yeah.
the immigrant coming over thing. That's amazing.
She's she's gone through everything. I mean, we had family that's lived in Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. She was talking about some that were possibly some of the women that started with um during the which war was it? Not the Civil War, but where the
Revolutionary
women
War.
were, yeah, where the Revolutionary War,
Yeah.
where uh, the women, kind of were taking an active
Yeah.
role in the military
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's just blew me away when I saw it. I mean, see the one word Mayflower, that's just iconic, you know.
yeah, that's kind of our big thing. It's like, okay, that's part of our family
That's
heritage,
right.
making our way over.
That's
So,
that's I'm so glad I'm doing this because it's everybody gets to tell this story. And we had the Keno Warriors on the other day, and they start from humble beginnings in the Colorado area. We got Chris and Rick, and they can trace it through Ellis Island. I mean,
yeah.
there's and everything in between. It's just so fun. Um, but I saw
Well,
Mayflower.
Ellis Island is a very cool place to go visit to
Yes.
track your family if you've never been there.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you would think like,
Uh,
oh, I won't find my family, but I mean, I'm telling you, they're very helpful there, and you don't need to make any reservations. You can go there
yeah.
and they will help you look for your family heritage.
We went to New York. Ellen surprised me for my birthday years ago, and she took me to a Yankees Padre game in Old Yankee Stadium, and we
Yeah.
made a point of going to see the Statue of Liberty. And it's there and it's there every day. And people in New York, I don't know if they take it for granted or what. I'm not saying they do, but when I saw it for the first time, it is it is breathtaking to see the Statue of Liberty for the first time.
Oh yeah.
It really is. And I just stood there and stared at it as we were on this ferry boat doing a lap around it. And then the next time we went to Padres Yankees in the new Yankee Stadium. And then we also went to a Mets game and the Hall of Fame, and then we saw the Knicks play. We did everything. Um,
I actually being September 11th is tomorrow. Um,
oh my
I
God, I didn't even put two.
actually,
You're right. It's tomorrow.
yeah, I actually got to go to um, the top, of the Statue of Liberty 1 week before September 11th. It just
Wow.
happened to be my friends and I. We decided to. I was living in Maryland then. Decided to get up and we drove to New York. Grabbed the ferry from Jersey side and got in line and were able to get right up there. The steps are so tiny,
Yeah.
to get up to the top, and you literally have like 1 minute or 30 seconds to take a picture, and then you have to walk back down. But
Right.
it was really well worth it
It's
because
worth it.
they closed it down for so long and everything. So,
Yeah. And just the history and the names and the log books that are there, and you can flip around
yep,
and you can request certain pages. And you're actually right. You can track your family down if you can.
yep.
I want to get to so then as you grew up, which is your family story is amazing. But getting back to you, you loved baseball growing up.
Yes. So I wasn't so much into watching baseball, but when I was a young kid, I was into Little League baseball. I loved Little League. I was shortstop, first baseman,
With
third
the boys.
baseman. Yeah. And I loved hitting. Like my father and we practiced. Um, and I did that every summer until I was supposed to go into like junior league. Then that's when my mom basically was like, no, you are not going into this. Cause one of the only girls on a team. I think there
Ah,
was like total of 3 girls. I tried softball, girls softball, and I felt like it was too slow. Just wasn't much into it. So I kind of got out of the baseball and then as I got into middle school and then high school, I did volleyball. I was a setter
yeah,
and so I did that
that's awesome.
along with, you know,
Yeah. You went to school. No, I'll forget this. You played the saxophone for 11 years.
yes, I played the saxophone for quite a few years, and I did that all through high school, middle school,
Keno kid just
elementary.
Keno kid just
So
said she was definitely a shortstop.
yeah, yeah, right, right,
Keno
Keno
kid.
kid, yeah. And you know what the crazy thing is? I am left-handed. So
Oh, me too.
back then, what I would do is I would catch with my left hand, flip my glove off to throw with my left
No
hand.
way.
Yeah. And then finally, it was, I don't know, after a few years, they worked with me to get a right-handed glove, but I'm so left dominant that, it just became a pro
That's why
in
you
that
and I get along
sense.
so well. I'm the same way as you. I didn't do the whole glove thing, but I'm left-handed. So the funny thing is,
Yeah.
I'm left-handed. Everything athletically, I'm left-handed, but everything like I do else that's not sports related is right-handed. But I do eat with both hands. That's why you get what you get. So, a Bones time said
Yeah.
it looks like I'm losing. Bones, I'm trying to lose some weight here. I got a long flight to Rome in 3 or 4 weeks. It's a lot of salads right now. It's not as fun. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so you went to
Uh-huh.
school. You went to school in college in
So
Aberdeen for 1 year,
yes. I started at Northern State University in
Northern State.
Aberdeen. I wanted to honestly, when I when I was graduating from high school, I wanted to be an artist.
Hmm.
I used to teach art all through middle school and high school every Saturday to little kids, um, with an artist at our art gallery. So every Saturday from 8 in the morning till about 5 p.m., I
Yeah.
would teach art. And I loved painting. I don't know if you know Bob Ross.
Bob
He,
Ross. Hair.
yeah,
Yes. Let's put a little tree right there.
yeah.
Yes.
So I painted with his son a few
No,
times.
you didn't.
Um, no, no. When I was in middle school, I painted and I took 4 art classes. He came to our town, and I did 4 oil paintings with him.
No.
So yeah, so it was a
Yes.
lot of
I
fun.
love learning stuff like that. That's awesome.
So
Just
yeah,
just just we've talked and chatted a lot when we play together, but this is fun
right.
for me. This is really fun. So then you moved to Bethesda, Maryland.
Well, first I moved to Kent Island.
Oh, Kent
I
Island. Sorry.
So when I started going to school, because my parents said, if I was going to be an artist, I was going to die poor the rest of my life, and struggle because artists usually are poor. So they were like, you have to do something else. So I was like, okay, I'm going to become a elementary school teacher because that was a
Uh,
passion. I love children. Um, but South Dakota is like one of the lowest paying
it is.
elementary,
Yeah.
or school teachers in the US. So in my junior year of high school, I did close up, which was a trip to Washington DC. And when I was
Hmm.
there and speaking with others and talking about like education and things like this, they were like, "Oh, on the East Coast, it has the highest paying school teachers." So that
Bing.
was one of the reasons why I
Yeah.
moved to the East Coast
Yeah.
versus the West
So
Coast.
that's where the money's
Um,
at.
yes, yes. So that's where my mom, we were trying to figure out, okay, how I can get there. And my mom was like, well, why don't you try nannying? Like it's still working with children. You could take a break, year off, get to know the area. If you like it, then you can stay there and go to school. Or if you
Yeah.
don't, come back and then go back to school. Um, so I moved to Kent Island across the Bay Bridge from Annapolis, Maryland. It's close, probably 60 miles from Ocean City, Maryland. So lots of seafood restaurants
Yeah.
and, crab houses and
Mm.
things. So, yeah, so I did that. And then I moved to Bethesda and I nannied, but they were older children, so I got to go to school during the day when they went
Okay.
to school, and then I went to school on the weekends. And
And then you went to
then
college for 4 years there in Montgomery
yeah,
College.
so I went there, which is part of University of Maryland, is
Okay.
actually, um, and that's when I changed my major into marketing and advertising because it was part of the arts field, more in the graphics and things like that. So I was really getting into that, and then somehow I ended up getting into staffing.
So
Don't
my
ask me
question,
how, but I did.
yeah. So your career is in. Now I don't even know how to explain that. You said the staffing industry. Explain. You've been doing that since 2008, and now you're the
Yeah.
director of account management. But what does the staffing industry mean?
So we do temp to hire, full time, or like contract to hire for a lot of Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies.
Hmm.
So we do everything. Our company deals in the healthcare field, non-healthcare field. So give you some examples. Some of my biggest clients I've had has been like Intel, AMD, Express Scripts, New York State.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you have a conglomerate of people looking to work, and you have clients say, "Hey, we need 50 people to come and do this for us." Is that what kind of thing?
Yeah, I do
Okay.
everything from secretarial all the way to high-end technology.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I love the tech field. Um, that is one thing that I've gotten into. So I do a lot of staffing in the tech field. But yeah, we do everything. I've probably in my years have placed over 20,000 people in the field.
25 people
So
getting
I
work,
love helping others.
getting people
That's
to
one
work.
of
That's
my
awesome.
yeah, that's one of my thing. My goal is every time my teams, I have teams in India, teams in the Philippines, um, and we all
Wow.
work together as a team, helping individuals. So yep. So that's what I've been doing in my field.
When you say the number 20,000, getting 20,000 people jobs, temp or not, or full time or not, but it's giving a people a chance to improve their life. It's come on.
Well,
That's
just think, I mean, during COVID, I was helping Johnson and Johnson.
oh my God.
I and dealing with all their manufacturing for their COVID
Yeah.
vaccine.
Yes.
So yeah,
Wow.
so there was
Wow.
yeah.
So let's get into she has a lot of gambling stories to tell. And we made sure we're going to spend a whole 30, but let's get into your interest. You love to travel. You love glamping. You love going back to South Dakota and glamping with your family.
I call my parents now glampers, um, because when I was young, we used to camp all the time,
Yeah.
have tent. We had a little camper. We go camping, and as they kind of got older, it was like, oh, let's go and get a camper that has, you know, uh we can put in an air conditioner. Now it's oh, it has an air conditioner in it and a refrigerator and a bed and a TV, where
Of
I
course.
call it glamping. So they actually rent like a permanent site now out at this campground that's about, I don't know, 50 miles away from town, and it overlooks the Missouri River.
Oh my God,
And
beautiful. Must be
so,
beautiful.
yeah, they go there usually on the weekends during the week. They're both retired from the government. So they go up there during the week and hang out and just relax and things like that.
They were both government employees back in the day.
Yep. Both of my parents retired from the government. My father worked for the Department of Transportation for 32, 33 years. And
Good for him.
my mom, I think around 32 years as well for the Department of Revenue for the state of South Dakota.
Wow. Wow. And your
My
sister's doing
sister
that too,
works for
right?
the state of South Dakota too for the
So
Department of Revenue.
and I learned this recently. My brother, who retired as a police officer, and he lives the RV lifestyle. He drives around the country in an RV. But
Yeah.
South Dakota loves the RVers because they come up there, they establish their residency in South Dakota, and South Dakota
Yeah.
reaps all the benefits. But you don't have to live there.
No,
Yeah,
no.
they're so forgiving with their travelers that you can establish a residency. All your mail goes to certain spots, and if you hey, we're
You
in
gotta
Florida,
talk to
can
my sister about that, Baba. My sister's in that department that we
oh
talk about a lot. It's so funny. She could give you stories about those things. So
yes.
yeah,
Well, then let's get your sister on one day then too. So
I know.
all right. So we want to Jackie, who just got off a whirlwind trip of Las Vegas. I heard you had an amazing Keno run while you were there.
Oh yes.
Is that where you want to start? No, no. Let's talk about. So how did what made you start a channel? You and a couple of your buddies who you met through the whole chat channel thing. You started a channel called Slot Gypsy Travel.
Yes. So we actually, just to kind of give you the backstory of how we
Yeah,
met. I actually met Leanne through the Rudies back in 2018, I believe it was.
pre-COVID.
Um, yeah, yeah, pre-COVID. It was when Brian Christopher Slots, was small and
Yep.
you could chat with people and everything like that. And it just happened to be where my sister and I always went on Labor Day. And so we went there, and Leanne posted, "Hey, does anyone want to do like some small group pull?" So I was like, "Oh, sure, my sister and I will be there. Let's do it." So we went there. We met Leanne and her sister and her friends, and then uh, Vic T
Hi,
and
Spenta.
Baby Girl was there, and Vic T is the one who put it on, and
He's a great guy.
yes, yes. So that's how we all met, and I became good friends with Leanne and Vic T,
Yes.
and then Karen. And during COVID is when we started the channel. Leanne and I used to uh, FaceTime each other like every Friday or Saturday. We still do. But during COVID, being I was locked down, she was locked down in
Yeah.
Canada. It was like so hard, and we both love Vegas and gambling and traveling and things like that. So that's how we kind of came up with that, and that's one of the reasons why we came up with the slot gypsies, because gypsies tend to move around, and
Yes.
that's the way we are. So
Yes. Yes. Some quick shout outs. We got Spenta's in the house. How are you, sweetheart? We got make sure I say it right. Helen and Brian.
yes, hello,
Gosh. What's up,
Helen and
Melvin? How are
Brian,
you?
Chris.
So much fun. Love you guys being around.
Hey, Melvin. Hey, Keno
Keno Life
Live.
Dean. Keno Life. Chris Thomason. Doris plus Keno. Charlie. Hey, Drunken. How you doing, buddy? Tell your wife I
Hey,
said
Kitsy
hey.
Cat.
Kissy Cat's in the house. Bones time. Thanks for the. Actually, Bones time. It's the black T-shirt. It's very slimming. So, but I am trying to work on it. I have moved my retire. I was going to retire December 2024. There's Ellen.
Hey, Ellen.
Hi, I'm leaving.
She's going to her standard Sunday coffee session with her girlfriend. So, um, so I moved my retirement date from December 2024. It's now August of 2024. Ellen goes, "Hey, I want to go on this trip." I said, "Book it. I'll just retire 4 months or so." Now I have less than a year to work left, so I'm
Oh,
excited,
wow.
counting the days, counting the days.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm on a heater right now, an incredible heater. We were talking before we went live, and Ellen and I are just killing our local right now, killing our local. We're going to do a premiere soon because she hit a monster. I'm in a monster. It's our second. It's only her second biggest jackpot ever for her, but it's bigger than mine. She was two bigger than mine, and mine's 20,000. So her monster's bigger than 20,000. And we're going to
Yeah.
premiere it. We're going to premiere it soon. Jackie knows that I sent her the picture. Um, Insane. And then I had another really really good hand pay on Friday, and it's 10 consecutive trips for us with a hand pay. But talking to you, this last trip you were on, you killed it.
Yes. This last trip, I think I won around 10 hand pays. Uh, I was like basically Venetian and Venetian. It was on Dragon Link, and where else was there? Oh, Mandalay Bay. I think it was
Hmm.
3 in one night, and then those were all on Keno,
Yeah.
and then, I was so happy finally at Palms on the Keno Max. I did my live, got done, and boom, I hit my head pay on those numbers. They were just on fire. So I was so excited. And then Aria, we went over to Aria for one afternoon, and it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hand pays there. And then went to New York,
Isn't it the best?
and went to Mad Apple. I fell asleep through the whole show pretty much until the Lion King part came on, and went out and played and hit 2 hand pays
Oh
there,
gosh.
and so yeah, it was good. But I have to tell you, my largest ever hand pay I ever hit was at the Venetian on Dragon Link. I hit the grand there for
Oh.
$18,888.88.
Oh, you
Yeah, it was
so it was maxed.
it was maxed out.
Wow.
So yeah, I've hit 2
18,000
grands on
888
Dragon Link.
88.
Oh, she got that maxed out.
So in the end, it was like 19,100 and some dollars. And you know what was crazy? I wanted taxes taken out, and they didn't want to take taxes out. And
What?
then finally, they gave me the 1099 slip or whatever it was, and it had some other person's name on it. And
No.
at that point, I was thinking, do I just say, okay, I'll just take the full cash and I'll just sign whatever this person's name is, or what? I'm like, it's
They
gonna go
they
to
put
that
somebody
person.
else's name on it. They put the wrong person's name. So it's like, just give me it all because someone else is gonna get
And I told them, I was like, my name is not Selena or something like that. I mean, it
It
was
is
like,
today though.
yeah, it'll be right now. So yeah, it was crazy. I mean, but yeah, that was my biggest jackpot I have ever won. My second one ever was it was what, in 2021. I was just switching companies, took a week off, 2 weeks off before I joined the new company, and went there, and we did our scooter live. We did, me and Karen. Um, got done. We went to Red Rock for lunch, and I
Yeah.
ended up hitting another grand there on the Dragon
Oh my
Link.
gosh.
So yeah, that one was, I think, either 12 or 13,000. I think I got around 14,000 from that one. So
So a lot of
I've
people are
done
saying
I
Keno Kid said he should have rubbed you more for luck because he saw you there this trip.
yeah,
And then they're
yeah.
all saying, "Hey, rub us for luck." Glenn Watson's going next week. Bones
And
time. My local that I've been killing is Barona. Ellen and I have been
yeah.
killing. Barona killed us for months and months and months. We're getting it all back. So literally getting it all back.
Well, that's what
Um,
I tell you though, Bubba. You got to be careful because sometimes it's like when they come and it's like they're releasing. Then it's like next time you go, they just start taking it back slowly and slowly and slowly. So,
kids for the kids
uh,
and cats say, people still what? Kids and cat. Kids and cat steal my luck when I get a hand pay. So you know what's funny because so Ellen, I can't tell you what it was. The game. I want you guys to see it.
yeah,
But when she hit the monster, they all come over. Hey, would you like to stay the night tonight? Would you like some steakhouse? Blah blah blah. Because they want you to stay because they know in the long run
yeah,
you're gonna pump it back in. Ellen and I have been doing really, 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 really good about. Okay, we're taking 400 each this trip. We're not going to touch the ATM, and we've been hitting within the first $300 or $400. The other
wow,
day I sat down, I won within the first 5 minutes, and we were playing crazy. I don't know. You guys saw she put out a video this morning. She had 5 majors in one weekend. We posted that video this
yeah,
morning at 7 o'clock. She hit the major. I said, "Play that machine. That thing's due because that's higher than lower because their grand is at 29,000. It usually hits around 20, so it's been building for months." And I
yeah,
said, it's your time." And she's and popped a major, and then she had another major, and then she had another major, and then she had a double major. I mean, all those in 2 days. And then I'm hitting hand pays across the room. I go, what is going on at Verona? That I don't know because we were about
well,
ready to give it up.
it's one of those things where it's just, your lucky day,
Yeah,
your lucky night, your
yeah,
lucky year.
yeah.
I mean, last year on my birthday, it was weird. I went down to Borgata, which is an MGM resort here in Atlantic City. And in that one day, I hit 6 hand pays,
Ugh.
and 3 or 4 of them were on one machine itself. It was crazy. I was just like, and I mean, they would just cash me out. 5 minutes later, boom. It
Yes.
was, it just, does that.
The
So
caveman, I hit the machine. The guy walked away to get my money, and before he got back, I hit the same machine again. He's like, "You hit it again." I
yeah,
go, "Hit the same." I go, "Dude." So I tipped him the change. The one guy said, "Come on back. You're gonna get the same tip." So
yeah.
all the Keno guys want to know, what is your favorite Keno game?
Oh, so to let you even kind of understand how I got really into Keno
Okay.
is in South Dakota. If you've ever been there, you'll see casinos everywhere, even in the gas
Right.
stations, grocery
Right.
stores. But they're video lottery uh slot machines, Keno machines. So back in the day, all they had was video lottery, poker, and Keno. That's it. And my sister and I would want to go out, and we would go out, and I would kind of try and play the poker, but I never understood it.
Yeah.
So she taught me how to play Keno. And ever since then, I got hooked on it.
Hooked.
And it was like we would do the 4 numbers, 9 through, I think it was what, 9 through 39, like going down the 4
Okay. Straight down.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was Powerball Keno because they had Alley Cat Keno, Powerball Keno, and Straight Keno. Um, and we would hit that on Powerball Keno all the time. So that was kind of always my numbers. But um, moving forward, that is all I would play. I never even started playing slots until 2018 when I watched
Wow.
some videos. Yeah. Brian Christopher. That was when I actually was learning about what slots were, because I was like, I don't want these. I just want Keno. And my
Yeah.
trips was only on Keno.
It's funny the bet because he's like we all started watching him and
Yeah.
Lady Luck HQ when she was just Lady Luck. And they're kind of the bet they started. Talk about taking advantage of a system.
Well, I was
They
just searching
started.
for Keno like everyone
Yeah.
else. It was like my first time on YouTube, and I was searching for Keno because I was like, man, I need to figure out some new, like, tips and tricks on different numbers or different strategies and things like this. And
Your buddies
then it
are in.
was,
Your buddies just checked. Slot 50 travel just chimed in. They said she just woke up because he traveled with you, right?
hey, good morning, Leanne.
How you doing, Leanne? Loved all your live stuff. It was fun.
But yeah, I mean, now it's so hard because I have, like favorite ones at different casinos.
Mm.
Um, it's like I have, if you, basically say, okay, Mandalay Bay, what's your favorite machines? I'd probably say at that big bar. I love to play the Captain Keno. I've
Ah,
hit 2 hand pays on him.
on Captain Coin.
Um, yeah, Captain Coin.
Wow.
Yep. And then their high limit room. They have 3 Keno machines. And so I go in there a lot. It's a lot quieter. But they also do have 4 old machines where, like Caveman Keno, it is times 10. So
They're hard to find
a lot of
nowadays.
people, yeah, it's hard to find those. And then Aria, I
Leanne
have my.
says Wolf Run Keno all the way.
Yes, I love Wolfie, but Wolfie was not good to me on this trip. He was hungry for my money. So after Gold Coast, playing 2 days of him, I
Yeah.
just told him to go and shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Like, I was done with him. Oh man. I told him I was taking him a break and hitting caveman, and that's what I did. So
I don't know that any. I mean,
but
Michelle's
yeah.
had some big runs on Wolfie. Ellen's had a couple of decent. I've never hit a big. It's a fun game to play because just the anticipation of all those multipliers is
Oh
there.
yeah.
But I've never. Mine are really bing, bing, bing. They're all. Michelle, I think, is the only one who's really kind of crushed Wolfie.
Yeah.
'Cause she has multiple hand pays on
Well,
Wolf Run. I've
I
never had
mean,
one.
Well, Keno Kid even saw that one when I not this year, but last year when last September we were at Cosmo, and
Yes.
I went into the high limit room. Everyone was like in their group hole. I went into the high limit room just to play Wolfie, and I'm sitting there, and boom, I hit 6 out of 6, and it was
Oh,
like, oh my god, yes, I just love it, and I've done pretty good on it, but yeah, he just, I don't know, he was out the door doing something with the other wolves or some
yeah. Vin
this
Julian said
past
wolf
trip.
skin
So
rug.
yeah, yeah. That's
so
what the new rug is.
so every place has a like. So we were at the Palms. The Palms has a lot of Keno offerings there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So for me there, it was the Keno Max machines. I played those
Yes. Yeah.
so much, and that's where I got my hand pay.
Yeah.
And I I got Leanne into it because Leanne was never much into Keno, and so she's fallen in love with Wolfie and Cleo and that. But yeah, the K band, and then I love going to the bar. Um, but even this trip, on what was it, Tuesday night, I spent most of my time in the high limit room playing Cleo and 4 card Cleo, $5 denom. I was doing $20 spins, and I actually cashed out like $1,700 on it. I was winning, you
Can't
know,
complain about that.
yeah, I was like one away from 7 out of 7, one away from 6 out of 6. So
Helen and
I
Brian,
was
thanks for
like,
coming. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate she says she has to go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you so much.
bye. And yeah, so I ended up doing really well in that. And then there's one at Aria, which I don't know if a lot of people know about, but in their old high limit room,
Hmm.
um, they have Keno in there.
I have yet to
And
play at
it's
the R. I've never played there yet.
mm, so if you go into the old limit, high limit room, the only reason why I know this, because I was sitting there
Well, because you're a
playing.
gambler and you're on the
Yeah.
hunt.
Well, I was playing Lightning Link, the high limit, just sitting there. And a gentleman, like right along the wall, and it's where like Cleopatra 2 is, and
Oh,
um Kitty Glitter. Well, if you click on it, it has more games, and Keno is on
oh,
those. I was shocked. And there
okay.
is when I saw a
That's a
guy
very
hit.
that's a rare combination for Cleo 2 and Kitty Glitter to have those games on
Yeah.
there.
And that is where I saw a guy on Thursday hit $49,000 on
What was you
Keno, or
playing?
on 20 card Keno. $20.
Wow.
Yeah, 40. It was like 49,400 and some odd dollars.
On
Oh,
multi-card.
yeah, multi-card.
Man.
That night I was over there playing I was playing that machine. I was like, oh my gosh. So but I wasn't playing multi-card. I should have. But have you ever done any of those mistake bets where you accidentally
I
hit
have.
max bet?
I
Yeah, I
have.
did that a few times on this trip. $70 down the drain.
We talk
I
about
was
all the time.
like,
That's what that max bet button is next to the play button on purpose.
I know. I was like, oh my God. And of course it's 4 cards, so it's gonna, you
Yeah.
know, like
32,
cost
30,
me.
exactly. And you're 3 or 4 spins in, you're like, man, where did my $100 go? And like, you
I
know.
know. That's why I was like, okay, I gotta run back down to the quarters real quick.
um, so what you mentioned, but other than that 4 spot you mentioned, the 9 to the 9, what is your favorite? I know we all have names of our numbers, and I play the bill religiously. I don't do anything but the bill. I'll occasionally play the bread and butter, but I've made so much money on the bell and all reliable. What is your favorite? I got to go to these set of numbers.
So like my sister and I guess we never really had like specific set of numbers. I mean, I would say that 9 through, my 4 spot, but it's changed over the years because of the different, type of
Yeah, there's so many
machines.
variations. Yeah.
So my sister and I used to play a lot of straight Keno. I call it
Yep.
just straight Keno.
I call it the
And we
OG.
would, the what?
The OG, the original Genki
Yep,
Kino,
yep,
one card.
yep. And so we would play like 2, skip the 3, 4, 5, 6, and then maybe add like 14, 15. We play like around a 7 spot, 6, 7 spot. In that area is where I've hit a lot of hand pays, especially at the Venetian. Um, that was my go-to place.
Yeah.
I used to from 2018. Um, I was religious there at the Venetian, and they had, right by where the rewards desk was, or
Yes.
is, I should say,
Yeah.
it's all Keno and poker machines, and they just put them all back.
Oh, there you go. There you
Yes,
go.
so it's a nice quiet area, and there was 3 old machines at the very end, and, I've hit hand pays on every single one of those,
Oh my gosh.
as high as up to 7,000 is my highest on Keno.
You know what? People ask questions to me like, "Oh, how come you don't play more slots?" I go, yes, mathematically you do hit less hand pays on Keno, but when you hand pay, it pays more than slot
Oh,
machine
yeah.
games because of the if you're playing true machines like at Venetian. I like playing Venetian because there's the bar tops and the kiosk right in front of the sports book. I can watch
Yep.
games all day and play. We were live there when I hit the New Year's Eve hand pay right there at the bar top for $4,300. Um,
Yeah.
but the drawback is there's 750 machines. They're the they're it's correct, but it's the worst version of correct. But the
Right.
atmosphere right there is pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, where I play at
But I would
Verona,
say
every Keno machine in the house is an 838. Every one in the house is 838, and
yeah.
there's tons of Keno at Verona.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where, it's like I never really noticed. I mean, I noticed when people started talking about like, oh well, this one pays out a lot less.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I started like looking, I'm like, oh yeah, this does pay out less. Oh, this
It's
one
like
does pay out. So
Leanne
I'm
says,
like,
I
man,
don't
this
like Keno
sucks,
anymore. Yeah, I'm big on return on investment. So if you're playing the game, I always talk about, well, play the game that's correct for your bankroll.
Right.
But some like the gimmick games, the Cleos and the Cavemans and not Caveman so much because that's pretty good. But the Cleos, the Da Vinci, the Bullfrog, in which I'll have a video coming out soon. Don't even play Bullfrog. And does anybody have any
Um,
success playing Bullfrog?
Oh, you know what? So this is the funny thing is again back in South Dakota at the casinos when a lot of these like bullfrogging and them they had those Keno machines already 10
Mm,
years ago
wow.
there. I played so many Fire and Ice Keno, Leprechaun Keno.
Yes.
I played, there was one of my favorite ones where there was like a little girl that would ride a bicycle. So when you would land on a spot, it would go ding, 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 and she would ride across. And it was one of my favorite ones. There was like a bulldog Keno. There was a some famous golfer Keno game. So
Man.
whenever I see these ones coming out, I'm like, oh, I already played some of these like 10 years ago. When they were like the video lottery Keno machines. And then, so I'm kind of like, okay, they basically do the same thing. Even what's that one that Michelle likes now that's like at the Win? Um, oh, the Target Lock.
Target Lock.
Target
I
Lock.
played it in
Yeah.
Arizona.
So, yeah, so I played those ones back in the day too. So, I think they're changing a lot of those and bringing them into the mainstream of Keno
Yeah.
games.
And the reason why is because they're very slot machiney. They're trying to bring the slot community to the Keno game. But those
Yeah.
games, the pay scales, I mean, you're only going to get a hand pay if you're in a bonus, and the bonus goes really, really well. But
Yeah.
they are fun to play. I played Target Lock and Talking Stick in Arizona, and I ended up with 121 spins. The rockets never landed on me. I won $100, but the bonus
Yeah.
lasted. The bonus lasted like an hour.
Right.
It was insane, but it was a fun bonus because oh my god, more free game. The rockets were flying everywhere. I mean, can you imagine? You get 20 numbers, and then I got 21 rockets on top, so 41 numbers, and still didn't hit my numbers. 41 of the 80 numbers, and still didn't hit my numbers. So crazy. But that's a fun game, though.
Well, that's what I met. It's kind of funny because when you sit at Keno you get to talk to a lot of different
Yes.
people. So I met a couple from Wisconsin and then this couple from Norway, and it was funny because we were I met them on Wednesday, and then I met them again on Thursday, and I was playing caveman, and I was one away from 7 out of 7. I was like 40,000,
Oh
forty
my
thousand
gosh.
quarters. I was like, one more, one more.
I know one
Oh
more.
man.
That
Yeah.
is the mantra of every Keno player. One more. Leanne said
Oh,
she said 7 out of 7 twice on Wolfie at her local.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our
She asked
local
me at her local.
our local has two of the used to have four, but they have two of the Keno Star machines. So they had the Clio Max, Caveman Max, 4 card Caveman, all these things. I am in love with 8 card Keno right now. Love it.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's been I've been killing it. And my bell, and then I put the 4 spot, the same I'm sorry, a 5 spot, the same 5 spot in a little house. I've hit the 5 spot, I don't know, 5, 6 times for handies. I mean, I still got more stuff coming out for you guys to enjoy, plus Ellen's premiere. So, I mean, August was amazing for us. What is your? You just came off a big run. Your biggest hand pay on a slot machine was 18,888. What's your biggest hand pay on a Keno game?
It was like I think it was a little over 7,000
Hmm.
was my highest,
Seven out
and
of
that
seven.
was on straight Keno.
Yeah.
Straight Keno is what
God.
I did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you won't believe my first hand pay, because remember I told you like I never played slots until like 2018.
Yeah.
So I went to Vegas by myself because my sister couldn't make it, and I stayed at Luxor because I found that they had Keno machines back in the day, right by the Lux Cafe. It was like a whole area of Keno machines,
Yeah.
and I started with 1 5 cents. It was an old machine on Clio. Five. I started with 1 5 cent, 2 5 cents, 3 5 cents. I built it up, then went to dimes, quarters, dollars. On the $6, I hit 6 out of 6 and won
Ah.
3,000
So you
some
went from
odd dollars.
low rolling to hitting a biggie.
Yes, my
Man.
first campaign, I thought I was in trouble and I was going to get put in jail because I didn't know what I had never won a hand pay. It was so crazy.
So
So,
Ham Muffin just said that Neely 777, one of the original Keno guys, on Bullfrog Keno hit $27,000. Are you kidding me?
oh my
On
gosh.
Bullfrog, such a hard game to win because the bonus they have the pick'em bonus. They say never do the pick'em bonus to the
Yeah.
games because the games get the multipliers in the spin. I have never won. Uh, Bullfrog is hard. The pays are so bad. 20. Wow, that's crazy.
Wow, that must have been lucky. I mean, you did good
Lucky.
on Buffalo Keno, didn't you?
Yes, it was the one time Ellen was on a run of, she was playing, she sat at the same Lightning League machine for like 6 hours because she kept getting 300, 300, 300, 300, like over and over and over again.
Mhm.
She ended up winning, she bought it for $100 and she had it to $1,800, but over 6 hours, it's down to 1,200 up to, because she kept winning over and over, never hand pay us. But I said, well, here, can I borrow some more money? She gave me $200. And I was losing, losing, losing. I sat down, there's a new
We
game, Buff.
should put
Never
that
seen
in
it.
a little notebook. Bubba, you owe me 200 bucks.
The funniest thing is she always like she borrows money from me. Hey, can I? I'm out of money. And when I go, I get the when I ask for money, I get the eye roll. I'm like, don't eye roll me. I've been so yeah. She kept $200, $200, and I'm just getting beat up. And I didn't even know Buffalo Kingdom existed. It's on the World Star. It's on the World Star or World Circle World or whatever machine. And it's mostly the guys play the Buffalo game. And I said, let me just what's on here. And the guy just got up and I saw a Keno board and I go, what's this? And it was 25 cents. Max bet is $1. Max bet was
Yeah.
$1 on Buffalo, one card, and I bet my 10 spot like I always do, and I'm in for like $20, and then I get the bonus games. I didn't even know how I did it. I'm still trying to figure the game out, and then I hit 5 or 6 numbers of them. I'm 6 out of 10. All of a sudden, 20 extra balls. The Buffaloes run across the screen, and it went 9 out of 10, but it also landed on all three multipliers. Because
Oh my God.
I didn't hit any multipliers, and then the 20 balls landed on. So it was 2,000 times 8. I'm like going, what? And I'm like, I didn't even understand. $16,000 on a
Oh my
dollar
God.
bet, and I people, oh, get out, Ellen. You can have your money back. So
That's what I did with Leanne, and we had our friend Karen visiting, and they were out playing slot machines, and I was playing Keno, and I was playing what was I playing? Four card, I believe. And I hit what was it? 5,000, I think it was. Um and it was just going up, and I messaged Leanne, you got to get over. And she goes, oh my God, Jackie hit a big one. Jackie hit a big one. We got to get over. And it's the same way. It's like you just like, oh my gosh. And when it comes to multi-card or four card, it's like trying to figure out how much you win, especially
yeah,
when you see almost all your numbers get hit. So
yeah. Ham up and ass. This is my $16,000 win on Buffalo Keno. Yes, go back. It's a little 3-minute video, and I sound so confused when I win it because I have no idea what's going on. And then I start
yeah,
hollering for Ellen. Yeah, I paid 16,000 on a dollar. It's back probably 8-9 months ago ish. I'm not sure when, but it was last year, 2022 ish. So
because I
crazy.
remember seeing that, and I was
Yeah,
just like, oh my gosh, like that's just amazing. I
that's a
mean, in the
unicorn. That's
sense,
a
like,
unicorn win.
yeah,
Those wins. Yeah.
it's like, and I've tried the unique, what is that? Moolah game.
Oh,
I've never gotten anything off of that. I'm like the unicorn. He just wants my money. So, that's why even with slots, I'm so particular. I play like
yeah.
Lightning Link and Dragon Link, and that's about it. I very few others do I just feel like they just suck my money where I'm like, okay, I can go play Keno, and I can play so many different games on that one machine and enjoy. So
It's so true. And when it's your day, it's your day. When right now I'm on the streak, I still can't believe it's still going. I mean, 10 straight trips to casino with hand pays. Your amazing trip with handies every casino you went to. And then Leanne says she's done with Keno, but you never know. I'm not a quitter. I'm going to try to see if I can make it 11 trips in a row one of these days this week.
hey, the
David H.
IRS is gonna love us. That's the best thing.
Exactly. David H. Getting ready to fly. He's going to Vegas soon. I know some good. Um, Jackie, an hour flew by. I told you it was going to fly by.
Oh my gosh, yes,
NFL,
yes.
NFL games start here in 3 minutes. I don't want to mess up your NFL
Oh
Sunday.
yeah.
Loved
David,
talking to you.
I saved a bunch of numbers on all different machines. So go and win them. Get those hand pays. You'll probably find them. I don't know if you heard, Bubba, but when I did my live at the Palms, I was playing what was it, 8 card, I think it was, or one of them. And I'm like, gosh, these numbers look a little familiar. You know how you see individuals comment. And sure
Yes.
enough, they were Brian's numbers from the week before.
Right.
I was just
Because-
like, oh my gosh. So that's what David H said. Leave me some numbers. So
yeah.
I left you a bunch of numbers.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, Bubba, for
You're
inviting
such a
me in.
fun, likable person. Everybody loves you.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
Make sure
Thank
you guys
you.
go to Slot Gypsy Travels channel. They have a lot of fun over there. It's her, Leanne, and who else? Name all your
Karen,
buddies.
baby girl, Karen.
They call them Baby Girl.
Yeah.
So I watched you guys live. I watched her hit the $334 on bingo the other day.
Oh, yes.
And that was a lot
Yes.
of fun.
Well,
I was
thank you
going to ask
so
you
much, Bubba. Thanks, everyone.
whatever became of that Keno jack or the bingo jackpot that like 100 people won. What did you guys make on that?
On which one?
The one where the guy messed up calling numbers and had to pay out like 80 different bingos on the same one.
Oh, we all won $10. We got stuck waiting for 2 hours to
Oh
get
my, for $10.
$10.
Oh my gosh. Thank you
It
so
was
much
crazy.
again, Jackie. Great seeing you.
Thank you, and I can't wait to see you guys,
We have
on
we
the
have
next trip.
we
Keno
have
Nation coming up.
Keno Nation. Let's go. Brian's going to announce the dates this Thursday on his premiere. I'm sorry, his video, because he's going to show how great he did in Vegas. But he's also going to Keno Nation dates are coming out this Thursday. Make sure you check out Quick Honey Slots on Thursday. On
Oh yeah.
Wednesday, Melly just got back from her trip on her cruise. She wanted to come on, so Melly and David are coming on this Wednesday, 4:30 PS time, Pacific
Woo!
Standard Time, 7:30 in New York. Can't wait to introduce you guys to Melly and David. Power couple slots. I've been dying to meet them, and they called me when they got back and said, let's get on your show right now. So see you guys
Sounds good.
Wednesday night. Jackie, love you, love you, love you. See you
Love
soon.
you. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.